Yeah, this is last night's. Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah, another side-side angle, because if you had side C and side B, the angle that would be in between would have been angle A. Okay. So let's try. This is the, what kind of angle there? Acute. All right. So this is the acute triangle case. Okay. Now let's just start with this. Okay. What happens if the side across is the biggest? It's one triangle. Okay. If the side across is not the biggest, then we have to make that comparison. Okay. So if the side across is the biggest side, it's just one triangle. We work it out. But if the side's the smaller of the two sides, we got to compare to figure out how many triangles we have. All right, now let's finish the rest of it. So we get little b is 19. All right, A at the top. All right. And so C is going to go here. So little c over here is 30. Okay. So is the biggest side across from the given angle there? No. So I'm going to have to make that comparison. All right. So let's see. We're going to compare side opposite 19 compared to 30 times sine 36. Okay. All right. So y'all compare that there. What is 30 times sine 36? Okay. All right. 17 point something. All right. So 19 is greater than that, and that's bad news. It says two triangles. Okay. Dum dum dum. All right. All right. So pack a lunch. We're going to be here a while. All right. So we got to draw the other one. Okay. So let's label the other one with our primes here. All right. So let's see. This is still 36 degrees. This is still 30. This is still 19. So little a, this will be little a prime. All right. Now, remember the biggest thing to remember about two triangles. I'm going to find an angle in this triangle. And when I find an angle in this triangle, I'm going to immediately subtract it from 180 to get the corresponding angle in the other triangle. So I'm not sure which angle I'm going to find. But the first angle I find, I subtract from 180 and get the corresponding angle on the other triangle. Okay. All right. So now let's figure out what angle could I find here. Could I find maybe the A or the C? C. Okay. We can't find A because we don't know side A. All right. So we have to use C. Now the ratio that we'll use to find it will be the B ratio. Okay. Laws of sine. All right. So here we go. Laws of sine here would be what, 19 over sine 36. All right, right. Okay, so let's cross multiply. We're going to get 30 times sine of 36 equals 19 times sine of c. Okay, now let's solve it. How am I going to solve it though? Right, divided by 19, okay? All right, so let's punch this in. I need a graphing calculator. I've got 100 graphing calculators and no batteries. I'll have to borrow somebody. I guess I could use the one on my computer. I didn't think about that. All right. All right, here we go. 30, is it in degrees, I'm assuming? Okay. Yeah, because that's less than 1. All right. So now, that's not C, that's the sine of C. So we're going to do inverse sine of it. All right. So now, we get angle C here is about 68.1 degrees. Okay. Now, immediately what we should do is find C prime. Yeah, by subtracting that from 180. Okay. So now we're going to know what that angle is. Okay, let me write these up here. This one's the 68.1. which is the acute angle. So C prime is going to be the obtuse version. We'll say 180 minus that. Okay, and that's probably the most important step of the problem, is taking this angle and finding this angle with it. Okay, so it's 111.9. Okay, all right. Now, in both triangles, we should be able to find the angle A's, okay, because we got both of the angles down there. Okay, so let me find this one first. I'm going to say, all right, 36 plus 68.1. Okay, and there I'm going to get the exact value, or as close as I can, and then subtract that from 180. Okay, so we got this angle here, 75.9 degrees. Uh-oh. 0.9 degrees. All right, now let's find A prime over here. Right. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, now let's find this one. So let's say 36 and then 111.9, and then subtract that from 180. So about 32.1 degrees there. All right, now let's look what's left in both triangles. Yeah, little a, okay, and then little a prime. So we can just use laws of sine for the rest of it now. So let's go on this one and let's just fill in that A ratio now. This A prime, look, if I had these two angles, add those two and subtract from 180, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to continue my laws of sine here to find my A. So now I can fill this in since I know this angle. So we're going to get A over the sine of 75.9 degrees. Okay. Now, we could put the C one back in there, but let's just cross multiply with that first one again. Okay. So just cover up the middle one here. And let's cross multiply. So we'll get 19 times sine of 75.9 degrees. All right, equals A times sine of 36. Okay, now let's solve for A. So I'm going to divide both sides by sine 36. And that'll go away. All right, so now let me type this in real quick. All right, 19 times the sine of that, right, divided by the sine of 36. Okay, so about 31.3. Okay, all right, let's find our other A. Now, so we got to set up all, it's not going to be the same, right? All right, so let's set up some proportions in our laws of sine to find it. So obviously we do the A one. Okay, so we'll say A prime over the sine of 32.1 degrees equals, okay. Now we could use either ratio, couldn't we? All right, well, it's going to be probably a little smarter though, the B one, because those were given, weren't they? All right, so 19 over sine of 36. Do what now? Because you're doing A over the sine of A. And that's the formula? Okay. It's what? You do the side over the sine of the angle that's opposite. Okay. Have y'all caught on to the formula really? I mean, you really don't use the formula. You just match what? These two together in a ratio, these two together in a ratio, and these two together in a ratio. Okay. All right, now let's cross multiply and solve. So we get 19 times sine of 32.1 degrees equals A times sine 36. All right, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 36. All right, let me type it in. So 19 times sine of 32.1 divided by sine 36. All right, so that's 17.2. Now, they're going to be up there. They're covered up right now, but they'll be up there to your left.